After CBP released video of the incident, the question is being raised. If he was being monitored through a live feed, why didn't anyone intervene when he began actions to end his life? This entire installation is made up of 100% recycled material. Once it comes down, it will become tote bags for the community. After CBP released video of the incident, the question is being raised. If he was being monitored through a live feed, why didn't anyone intervene when he began actions to end his life? According to the arrest affidavit, this is the exact location where the altercation took place and where Guerra allegedly struck another woman.
Realmente era muy querido.
Telenoticias KGNS se comunicó con George Algett, el abogado de Rodríguez, quien indicó que continuarán llevando el caso a la Corte de Apelaciones de Texas. Asimismo, indicó que continuarán buscando cambios en el caso de su cliente. Para Telenoticias KGNS, Orlando González. Según estos documentos, la policía señaló que no se hicieron amenazas explícitas o serias. De acuerdo a documentos de la Corte, este es el lugar donde el incidente se registró y donde presuntamente Guerra agredió a otra mujer. El reporte
Post 59 member speaks to Orlando Gonzalez on the ceremony and the meaning behind it. Orlando.
It's been 41 years since Corporal Reynaldo Reyna Jr. passed away. Recently, his widow reached out to veterans of the American Legion 59 for help. They responded, and this afternoon, they held a special commemoration ceremony to honor her late husband. The ceremony is called the Folding of a Flag, a sacred and symbolic ceremony to honor those who serve the armed forces. Reyna, who fought in the Korean War, served in the Army and the Army National Guard. Today, veterans from the Legion Post took part in the folding ceremony, each fold telling a story as the veterans honor their fallen brother. Tears mingle with smiles, sharing memories of shared battles and unbreakable bonds. Reyna's widow and a honor guard member share what this moment meant to them.
Big honor for me because my house is humble, but this is very, very significant to me. So I really appreciate what you all did, and thank you too.
It's a proud thing to do because of their service to our country and to our people.
Before Reyna passed away, he was the Legion's post commander and held many other positions in other military organizations around Laredo and Webb County. The American Legion Post 59 helps families of fallen heroes that are in need of their services. Reporting live from downtown Laredo, I'm Orlando Gonzalez. Back to you.
Students who feared it could have an impact on their financial aid. Our Orlando Gonzalez has more on what they had to say.
It was a moment of concern, piled with confusion for college students after news of a federal funding freeze surfaced. Uncertainty grew over whether financial aid, including Pell Grants and federal loans, would be affected.
I personally think that's something that should not be done. A lot of students do have trouble paying for their studies and everything, and it can affect the way their lives will turn out.
Carlos Rodriguez, student at Laredo College, or LC, is many of the students that worried for the future of their studies. For Eloy Juarez, another student at LC, he had already contemplated a plan of action to pay for his studies.
If that were to happen, right, I would have to get like more than one job. I would have to get like 2 or 3 or maybe 4, and it's gonna be hard keeping track with the with school.
With the uncertainty of what will happen next, Juarez is not the only student putting a plan in motion. Many, like Gilberto Gutierrez, were contemplating their options.
I have to find a job for sure, start looking maybe more into there's programs too, I'm sure, that help out in that.
At TAMIU, students were vocal about the federal freeze and if it would affect them.
Obviously, the Pell Grant is one of the biggest grants that is given to us. It's our financial aid. It's mainly what covers for most of our school funding. So it is, and even with that, sometimes it doesn't cover everything. So it is pretty scary to think about how we might not have anything to go to school with.
Another student expressed frustration who works and studies plus heavily depends on financial aid.
Being a substitute teacher, they don't get paid as much. They're very underpaid, and getting paid $8 the hour is not helping me cover like everything, like tuition and fees and everything that I have to pay in school.
KGNS reached out to both institutions on how they will help students who depend on additional help to remain in school. Laredo College has assured students that they are prepared to assist with tuition payments if a similar situation arises.
If it would ever be the case that the students need to seek other alternatives or other financial opportunities, the college does have plenty of scholarships that students can apply for.
For KGNS News, Orlando Gonzalez.
Thanks, Orlando. Tammy, you provided the following statement, which reads in part, quote, like other colleges and universities across the nation, we have been monitoring the OMB memorandum issued on Monday and developments that followed. Based on subsequent direction from the OMB, we do not expect any impact to student financial aid, end quote. Our Orlando Gonzalez was at today's hearing and has more on the judge's ruling. Orlando.
Can you stay away from drugs?
Yes.
Can you stay at home at night?
Yes.
And can you promise me nobody's going to get hurt by you between now and the time these cases are concluded?
Yes.
Judge Joe Johnson stern directions to Daniel Palomo Jr. This in connection to a 2018 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon incident. In that case, Palomo Jr. was identified as the suspect in an assault at a gas station on Del Mar. Palomo Jr.'s attorney, Roberto Valli, claiming self-defense then and echoes the same sentiment now.
His main thing is to have his voice heard in court, and that has not happened up to now. One side of the story has been told, and the fact is that Mr. Palomo was attacked without provocation, that he merely defended himself.
7 years later, on Friday, a hearing was held to determine whether or not to revoke Palomo Jr.'s bond took place in the 111 District Court, with visiting Judge Johnson presiding over the hearing, and Hidalgo Assistant District Attorney Patrick Kelly McCormick for the state.
And for the record, with the Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney as the District Attorney Pro Tem for Webb County.
The 111 District Judge Monica Knotson and the Webb County District Attorney Isidro Alanis recusing themselves from the case. KGNS confirmed with the District Attorney's office they will not be prosecuting Palomo Jr.'s case due to a conflict of interest. The DA's office said they have criminal cases taking place in the 341st District Court. The judge for the 341st District Court is Palomo Jr.'s mother, Judge Becky Palomo. Palomo Jr.'s attorney, Roberto Valli, stated he agreed with the decision.
And so Mr. Palomo has gone through the process. He's had an independent prosecutor from out of town, an independent judge from out of town, so that there is no local politics involved. And as a matter of fact, we don't want the local politics involved, because when the local politicians and officials have gotten involved, it's not been favorable for us. It's been unfavorable.
Judge Johnson ruled down the following conditions for Palomo Jr.'s bond, which included he must wear an ankle monitor, he must submit a hair follicle sample by Friday at 5 p.m. He must follow a curfew. He must remain within Webb County until the trial. He will be on house arrest and can only leave for work, school, and church. The trial for the 2018 case is set for February 24th in the 111 District Court.
Do you understand each of these conditions?
Yes, sir.
Are you prepared to follow those conditions?
Yes, sir.
For KGNS News, Orlando Gonzalez.
Our Orlando Gonzalez speaks to both entities and concerned residents of the area. Orlando.
It's been a nightmare. They block our driveway. They block our mailboxes. They've knocked down our mailboxes.
For people living in Kalady Heights, it's become a battle they face every school day. Rows of cars parked on their streets coming from students who attend Alexander High School, often blocking mailboxes and leaving behind more than just tire marks.
We can't get our mail delivered to our own homes because of mailboxes are being blocked by the students who park here. It's a real inconvenience because we can't even even park in our own parking spots because our driveways are often blocked by cars that don't belong to us.
Alicia Villarreal lives in the area and says teens often leave trash behind, especially on Fridays when they are eager to go home for the weekend. She claims to have confronted some of them, but their response is less than welcoming.
Nada más que respetaran.
I wish these kids could respect us and respect our parking spots by not blocking them and to keep our neighborhood clean.
Another neighbor of the area who spoke to KGNS but did not wish to appear on camera says in the past year she had to replace her mailbox after some of the students allegedly knocked it down.
I've had it knocked down 3 times. The mailbox alone is $379 at Amazon, and then another $125 to have it put up. So it gets pretty expensive.
The cars or trucks blocking her mailbox nearly led to missing an important package that contained medicine for her condition.
There's one instance where I needed my medication, and they usually leave the small box in the mailbox. I was expecting it that day. I was out of medication, and so I was scrambling to find it, and I was pretty scared, but eventually they found the truck that had it, and the reason was it wasn't delivered because the mailbox was blocked.
United ISD says they are working with the city to find possible solutions to fix the issue. The district has even spoken to developers around the area to remedy the problem.
We're looking at a number of different avenues to help alleviate this problem. One of the possibilities is, to add more parking in one of the areas, but we're trying to look at all of that and all of the different options to allow students to have more parking.
Representing the area is Council Member for District 6, Dr. Tyler King. He confirms receiving numerous calls and messages from people in the area expressing their frustration on the parking situation. At the moment, Laredo police can only issue citations to cars parked in the subdivision that are blocking driveways. However, he says there may be a solution to this problem.
I've been working with the city attorney to come up with an ordinance that can prohibit parking, blocking mailboxes, within a few feet of a mailbox, 6 feet roughly. LPD will have more power and more tools to use to be able to enforce with citations, $500 citations, but also with the ability to tow.
Dr. King added he has spoken to the UISD superintendent, Dr. Gerardo Cruz, and was informed the Alexander High School principal will be sending a letter to parents letting them know LPD will start towing cars. For now, people living in Kalady Heights can only wait until the ordinance takes effect. For KGNS News, Orlando Gonzalez.